Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki Bante. If you've been here before, hey girl, and if you haven't,
and you know what? What was that?
hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki Bante. If you've been here before, hello friend, and if you have not, well, welcome on in, friend. This is a bit chaotic of a video. I am not at home, as you can tell. I am actually in DC for work, and I decided to bring my camera just in case I got ballsy enough to film a video that I've been wanting to film for a minute. If you have been watching me for a minute, you know that I struggle with being vulnerable. So I started this channel for two reasons. One, pull myself out of a depression and get myself out of the house and experience things and like leave my place and be around people. But also two, vulnerability was something that I've always struggled with, and allowing myself to be vulnerable, whether it's with my alopecia, my thoughts, my feelings. I struggle with being vulnerable and sharing that with people. I tend to just keep things all bottled up. So this channel was a way for me to just allow myself to have self-expression, give myself the autonomy to decide when I want to be vocal and share this vulnerability to a group of people that I may not know watching these videos, you know? I've been wanting to film this particular video for a while, just because my thoughts have been all over the place on this subject, and I don't want to jinx myself. So it's gonna be really hard for me to film. Please forgive me. I also feel like my videos are so much better when they are like planned out a bit and easier to edit, by the way. Today, I am just spitting off of the dome. So I want to talk about life after depression. Ew. That just felt so weird. Even saying something like that out loud for me is quite a lot. And by the way, this cannot be a long video. It is already currently 12:21 and I have to be at work at 8 and I need to work out before then. But I vaguely talked about some of my experiences with depression. I would say from the year about 2018 to really last year, so 2022, I was pretty severely depressed. And for the most of my life, I think that I have felt really strong moments of depression, but didn't know how to call a thing a thing. I didn't understand what depression was or what anxiety was or what any of that stuff meant. And for most of my life, I have struggled with, I won't say it, I'll just put it on the screen, ideation, meaning that I never had an attempt, but it was always on my mind. This is the first year that I haven't had any of those thoughts, and I'm really proud of myself for that. I started therapy about 2 years ago. Started it not because like I was deep in my depression, but like my friend was doing it. It was like a joke at first. It was like, you're doing it? Okay, I'm gonna do it too. I don't ever give myself credit in any situation. If you know me, I never give myself credit. I didn't realize how much work I was putting in doing therapy. I think you just go every week and time just flies by and you don't realize how much work you're actually putting in. I didn't miss a week. I did my homework whenever I got it, and you know, I put a lot of effort in. So I'm really proud to say that this is the first full year that I've actually been excited about what next year is going to look like, what 5 years from now is going to look like, what is Nikki going to look like when she's 80 years old. I am genuinely excited, curious, interested, and looking forward to what that will look like. And I'm not instead counting down the days until I am gone. I want to talk about life after depression and what that has meant for me so far. Trying to find myself, trying to change and alter some of the ways that I'm used to thinking. So one of those is being alone. When you go through your really depressive moment, you are a lot more interested in being by yourself than you are in being around other people. And for me, it was exhausting being around people. It was exhausting going to get drinks with friends and doing this and doing that. It was just really exhausting for me. Like I said before, I lack vulnerability in some instances. I'm not going to tell you that it's something wrong with me. I'm always going to say that I'm fine. When I would leave out and like go and hang out with friends, I am always putting on a mask, which putting on a mask and not being yourself and being somebody that you don't feel like being at the time is a lot of work, and it's very exhausting, and it's very depleting of who you actually are. I was doing that all the time, and I just enjoyed my moments to myself. I enjoyed my solo dates. To heal myself throughout these depressing moments, I did the solo dates. I did the, spending a lot of time by myself and all of that. And I have come up with this mindset in my head, because I'm not in a relationship, I don't have kids, I've been very single for the majority of my life, for all of my life. I have experienced life by myself. I am a loner at heart. I enjoy this right here, where I'm at right now. I enjoy being by myself. I don't see anything wrong with that, right? But it's interesting because now that I am really excited about life again, I am craving community so much. In addition to that, like, I'm in my 30s. Life is changing across the board with all of my friends. People are having kids. People are getting married. Like, it's just a lot of changes happening. And that is a lot to tackle when you are really interested in community. And I'll insert a clip. This is going to be very vulnerable, but I had this moment where I was like crying, and I was like, I'm just going to pick up the camera and talk to y'all. I am craving community at such an extreme level. I want my family, I want my friends, I want people to be close with, I want people to experience things with. I've been doing like solo dates and all of that for so long. I have been living by myself for so long. I have been isolated for so long because of my depression. And now that when I try to do it, I don't know if you guys saw this video, I'll put it up here. Like the things that I do to get myself out of depressive moment. I talked about like me getting out and solo dates and going on walks and things like that. Yes, that helped me in my depressive moment. Like when I was depressed, yes, that helped me. But it's interesting now that I am not, and now that I'm excited about life, and now that I'm actually liking people again, I don't want to do any of that if I'm not doing it with someone else. It's not that I don't value my quality time and my alone time, but I am valuing community at such a deep and intense level. I feel like I've told myself for years that the best method to anything is just to be alone. You're better off alone. People don't want you around, like all these negative thoughts. And in addition to that, being alone is my coping mechanism. If I feel anxious, I'm just gonna be by myself. If I feel nervous, I'm just gonna be by myself. If I feel depressed, I'm just gonna be by myself. It has been my coping mechanism for years. And so it's really hard to choose another coping mechanism, meaning like depending on people, having a community, going to somebody's house, asking somebody to go somewhere. Like it just feels so outside of like my norm of what I'm used to doing. I don't know, I struggle with it so much. Like I feel very icky when I'm like asking somebody like, what are you doing? Can I come over? Like it just does not feel normal for me. It is not normal for me. So I'm gonna let y'all listen in to my thoughts for a second. Cue the vulnerability moment in 3, 2, 1. I think today was really difficult for me because I think that like over the past few months I've been really unsettled with where things could go potentially for me from a community perspective. And today, in a very like extremely lighthearted conversation, like I can't stress how much, like how lighthearted this conversation was. I was on the phone with my sister and my cousin, and I'm on FaceTime, and I will say I have been making a little bit more of an effort to communicate with people more. In that conversation, my sister, like being very lighthearted, saying like, describe me, like how would you describe me as a person if somebody asked you to describe me? And my cousin, she described her, and it was like loyal, family oriented, cares about others, shows up for people, like all of this stuff. And we went on and we described my cousin, rides for people, shows up for people, caring, always in a good mood, loving, like, you know, all of these things. And when it got to me, it was like, oh, Nikki, you're talented. You care a lot about the stuff that you're working on. Really career focused, really money focused, really motivated to do what you want to do. You really enjoy your solitude, really, you know, take care of yourself. You don't like to be around people like that. And for me, like, even though it was like a really lighthearted conversation, I think that it hurt, like, just like in and they say comparison is a thief of joy, obviously, but so much of like the positives about them was about how they interact with other people. Everything of the positives about myself included everything that had to do with me. Like my money, my career, my self-love, my this, my that, and nothing of which that involved my interactions or experiences with other people. And that just made me so emotional because it, like, sometimes it's hard to like look in the mirror. Like, I think, like I said, I've been just like grappling with the fact of like, I just feel so isolated from people. I don't understand why like I feel so lonely. I don't understand why like people aren't checking up on me like that. When I thought back to my first couple of years in New York, and my phone would always ring, and I used to look at it like, leave me alone. I don't feel like being bothered right now. I just want to be left alone. I just want to be by myself. They're not answering phone calls. And then you hear, oh, you can't call Nikki. You have to FaceTime Nikki. She doesn't answer her phone. And doing that so many times over and over and over again, people get tired of like trying to reach out to you. They see you as a person that like they can't get in contact with, so to hell with it. A lot of the times that I was having those reactions of like, I don't want to be bothered, because I wasn't okay up here. I wasn't interested in life itself. It just feels like I've done everything in my power to remove connection with people. Done everything in my power to tell people not to call me, tell people not to include me on this or that. And having that conversation with my sister and my cousin, and like hearing how like selfish all of that sounded. How I've been on this long journey of like self-love for the past 4 years because I hated myself. I've spent years and years and years conditioning people to leave me alone. It just feels like a lot of work to condition them to do the opposite. But it feels very vulnerable and icky. I hate vulnerability, y'all know that. So, but I'm open to like thoughts on how I can improve, because I just don't want to spend the rest of my life alone. I've always been an isolated kid, and I don't want to be an isolated kid in my 50s. Just scaring me. It is terrifying me. A little video journal. Back to the video. Hello, we're back. I don't have a solution to this at all. And I also really want to hear y'all thoughts in the comments. And if you're going through anything like this, or like if you have any advice for me, it also involves me relearning how to treat people in my life. Because like I said, my coping mechanism is to be alone. Meaning like if somebody does me wrong, babes, bye. Because I choose to be alone, I can willfully choose to like not have you in my life. So forgiveness has always been really, really difficult for me. People are people. They're human. They mess up just like me. People are not going to be 100% good 100% of the time. While it's not okay for people to cross your boundaries, you have to give them grace and allow them the space to either explain themselves, apologize, or understand your boundaries at a deeper level, and like talking through the situation. So that's one. And then the other, because babes, it's time for me to go to bed. The other is, I just finished a 30-day fast, y'all. So y'all know I have been really chasing after my relationship. I'll forever be chasing after you, and I will go from faith to faith, from glory to glory. Remember that song by Ty Tribbett? Oh, I gotta listen to it tomorrow. I have been chasing after my relationship with God, and I have been so hyper fixated on what my relationship used to be like when I was like in high school and college, and like how close I was to God during that time. I noticed that that wasn't good for me and my relationship with God, period. Think about a relationship on its own. If you and your best friend are best friends for 10 years and y'all fall out and y'all are not cool for like 2 years, and then you come back together, 2 years has gone by, y'all have grown, y'all have changed. If you are so hyper fixated on what you used to be back when you were kids and teenagers type thing, that ruins what you are trying to do to build the relationship if you are so focused on the past instead of being in the now. And that was what I was doing with my relationship with God. I was mad at myself every time I would pray, like, I don't pray like I used to, or I don't study the word like I used to, or I don't take time for God like I used to, not recognizing that like any step that I took in order to get to know him better was enough. You know what I mean? Like if it's 5 minutes of prayer, if it's 10, 30, whatever, any step that I took was enough for my relationship with God, and living in a now and not hyper fixating on what used to be. It's understanding, like, how do I build on this relationship and what I have now, and how do I continue to build on that and show him that I'm dedicated and show him that I'm interested in getting to know him on a deeper level. I wanted to start a fast because I wanted to replenish that relationship. I wanted to revive it, refresh it. I think that I know that my faith, my spirituality, it is something that keeps me sane. It is something that makes me feel whole. It is something that makes me feel really good. And when I am detached from that, I am a little bit more all over the place. And I have been detached from it for years. I'm not gonna tell y'all like what involved the fast, because I think that that type of stuff is very personal, but it involved a lot, and it was a lot of crying. I'll say that I prayed frequently. Every day I cried praying. I was like, dang, what's going on? What's tea? And I feel so connected with him now. Like, it feels fresh. It feels new. Really excited to see where my relationship with God can go. And I really want to continue to share that journey with y'all. One of the things that I have been really big on, especially in this journey of fasting, is I know what I want, right? I have been chasing money and jobs. I have done what I needed to do in the city of New York, okay? I have felt like I have literally accomplished everything that I wanted to accomplish moving to New York. I have accomplished it. I've accomplished it from a financial perspective. I accomplished it from a job perspective. I accomplished it on a friendship level, on a going out tip. Like, I've done everything that I want to do on a worldly level. I have done everything that I want to do. Something about me is just still not satisfied. Then I was watching a sermon, Darius Daniels, I'll insert it below, and he was like, sometimes you can feel ungrateful for all of the great things that God has given you and all of the situations and all of the accomplishments that you've had, but you can still feel unsettled because you know that there's something more that God has for you. That is how I feel. I feel that I will not be settled until I am on the road that God wants me on. And I don't feel connected to that road when I'm chasing after money, when I'm chasing after the new hottest company to work for. I don't feel connected to that. But I do when I'm talking to y'all, and I do in other situations as well. That is what I have been working on in that fast, and how do I get connected, God's mission for me and his plan and his assignment for my life. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if any of that made sense. I don't know if all of it made sense. And I don't like talking like this because I don't know what I just gave y'all. That is where my mind is from life after depression. I am really happy for myself. Clap if you're happy that I'm not depressed.
Clap if you care. All right, let's move on.
Y'all don't understand. I have cried so many times, especially during this fast, realizing like what I have been feeling and the uneasiness that I've been feeling all year, uncertainty I've been feeling all year, is actually just happiness. It's just a new feeling of happiness. It's something that I have not felt in so long. Consistent happiness. You know how, like, what? Happiness isn't linear. Your feelings aren't linear. You're not just gonna go like, you're not just gonna be happy for the rest of your life. Like, I'm not like this every day, babes. It's ebbs and flows, but it's not as many lows as it was even last year. I am going to pat myself on the back because I have done the work, although there are a lot of more things than I even included in this video, especially that are a lot more personal that I know that I need to work on. I just want to be vulnerable with some of that and hear y'all thoughts on what are some areas that maybe y'all are working on, or any advice that y'all have. I'm very open to that. These are really interesting topics to me, especially right now as I'm working through this new form of happiness, I guess. I feel really good. I feel really good, y'all. I'll also say that this is the last weekly video of the month. Look at your calendar. The last Sunday of the month, babes. After this, December 1st, I am starting Vlogmas. I am probably already filming Vlogmas. I am probably already in the works. Future Nikki that's editing this is probably already in the works of Vlogmas or getting ready. And I'm really excited to get to know y'all more in that experience. Like, this is my first Vlogmas. I love watching Vlogmas. It's my thing. Like, I love it. I love it. So I will see y'all December 1st, and we will see y'all the whole month of December. Yeah, we on this YouTuber journey, period. It's the way you act. It's the way you act. It's the way you show up. It's the way you show up. Hopefully I post this video. I know how I am. If it don't make sense, boot it. I'm about to get out of here. I'm gonna get out of y'all hair. Thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, of course. And I love you so much. Complete the heart for me, please. Go ahead. I know you want to. Thank you. And I will see y'all next time. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe at your grown. I'm gonna leave that up to you. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you for Vlogmas. Bye.